Hello. Hello and welcome to Drakenmemoria. Just checking. Alright. We did our usual, I'll be there in 10 minutes, but I'm actually here in 11 minutes. So, welcome. What is Drakenmemoria, you may ask? Well, it's usually about Dungeons & Dragons, but tonight we are map making, so it may not be about Dungeons & Dragons. For me or for you. For you, it could be another game system. It could be just something different. It could be for a novel, a short story. Just to have a quiet moment. Could be a lot of things. But let's face it, for me, map making is usually related to some sort of D&D thing. So let's go with that. Oh yeah, gotta make sure that the sputtering noise. I've been trying to read about this. They say that it's confirmed that it's probably what I think it is. There's something damaged in my cord or in the connector connecting the my headphones to my microphone, because everything is rooted to my microphone. See, when it's like this, you don't have sputtering noise. Maybe let's try something different. I always keep a part of my cord tied so that it doesn't just hang to the side. But maybe that's putting a little bit of pressure on the connecting point with the microphone. Or hold on, I gotta. What's that? Not hearing any noise. We may actually have it. Well, that would be nice. Okay. Let's try that. What was I saying? Dungeons and Dragons, probably for me, but for you could be something else. Alright. And yes, I know. Oh, okay. I'm a little late in posting everything we're doing. It's mostly because I started trying to edit a little bit more, especially removing the long silence. Because I noticed that there are a few moments with our long silence where I'm just pondering on something. But that's taking a lot of time. And that's the reason why I haven't posted the YouTube version of this yet. I still have a little bit of a backlog. Still have episode 7, 8, and 9 to do from our previous map. I am currently doing episode 7. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna try and be more there. Even when I'm pondering, trying to talk, which is not easy for me, because I am a ponderer. Oh. Yeah. It's also affecting my ability to do more stuff, like trying to adapt the cliffs so that I can use them on a colorless background. So yeah. That's a bit what's been happening. And also, I noticed that as I'm doing this, I thought that the way that I think and talk wouldn't show as much as it did. Because when I speak in French, I can easily not let it show all that much, but apparently more than I think. But I do have a bit of a different way of thinking than most. I'll often have one or two ideas evolving simultaneously in my mind, and I can easily jump between the two of them. And I've noticed that when I talk, I tend to do this on a very small scale, but the more tired I get, the worse that becomes, to the point where, as if you've been watching this live since the beginning, you've seen me sometime when I'm extremely tired, exhausted, or anything like this. I will start talking about something that's completely unrelated to what we were doing. Yeah. But that's because it's the secondary conversation, and yeah, well, in English I can regulate this a little bit less than in French. All right. Oh, goodness. Well, that's official. We started. Why do I keep yawning? Because especially if you watch me play with my D&D session, I don't yawn in there. That's easy. I am more used to either listening or talking, and not just talking, and trying to do both. So when I play Dungeons and Dragons, my players are either playing, so I pay attention to everything they're saying because someone may do something that's going to be very useful for me, or just to make sure that everyone has everything right when they're talking about something. But this, I just have to do everything myself. So instead of being completely focused, I have to divide my attention between the chat, between the map, between what I'm trying to do, between sometimes someone talking. And that means that my mind sometimes just goes blank doing one thing. It's a bit of a weird. The image is okay, but the way to explain it is not. Because I can't focus on just one thing, because there's always that little voice inside of me saying, oh, you should say something now because it's been a while since you talked, because there's always everything and watching a chat and watching. Yeah, that's why I can't focus on a single thing like I usually do. So I'm a bit floating because of that, and that's why I keep yawning. It's not because you're boring. Well, I'm always a little tired, but it's not the reason why it's happening. Yeah. So, enough pity talk about myself. Oh yeah, we're using WonderDraft. And if you enjoyed the Thunderstorm at the beginning, that was Ambient Mixer. All the information for the two site or software below the window. I keep forgetting that you can't see when I'm doing this. Camera doesn't see that low. And that's because I can't push it any further, any more than this, and it falls off the desk. But when I say everything's below the window, I just say it's below the window here. But you can't see it because I tend to do this here. All right. Enough of that. Let's go back to our map. See? It's exactly what I was saying. All right. And as weird as it may sound, the fact that I drink, I guess it's just carbonated water. It keeps me more awake than plain water. I think that's because of what it's doing inside of my stomach. I don't know. I just realized that it works for me. Okay. There's lemon wedge at the beginning. Sure, it's nice. And I like it, but not sure you do. But also, I'm too used to it. It's not having the same effect. Or as much effect as I would want to. Alright. As you can see, I spent a little bit of time playing with distance while we're off camera. So, symbols, so you can see what I'm pointing at. Doesn't need to be this big. Here we go. So the first one here, where the star is pointing, that's 1 mile. I've taken a little bit of time to look at village, towns, and city size. So for medieval town, 1 mile. I mean, the center of town would be less than 1 mile, because that's where the inn and a few commercial buildings are. Well, no, not commercial, because the market would be close to the inn. If the village is not associated with the lord, there's going to be a granary near the center of the village. If it's associated with the lord, the granary will be near where he is. So that's a possibility. Usually the blacksmith would be in the center of town, the inn, a marketplace, depending on when you are during the Middle Ages, either for bartering or for buying, because of how fantasy Middle Age is. It's better to assume that we're at the equivalent of late medieval time. So now that's an interesting point. If you want to do a fantasy world, trying to inspire yourself from the Middle Age, you have to remember that the Middle Age lasted 1,000 years. So the further you go in, the more there's going to be advancement and better weapons and better armor and bigger castle. In the beginning of the Middle Age, most of the castles were made of wood. It was just a central tower, a wall around it. That's why we don't have that many of them, historically speaking, because wood left to the elements does tend to have a little bit of difficulty surviving 1,000 years. Then later on, as everything becomes richer, the lords become richer, the kingdoms become richer. The wealth is spread around, so you start having more and more stone castles. Um, Village also made with stones and things like this. And when you finish the Middle Age, you have cities that are made of stones, tall walls, huge military fortress, full plate armor, barely any shield left. For lords, I mean, everyone else had a good reason to have a shield. I think one of the best moments, if you want to do something in the Middle Age that has a fantasy Middle Age, that has the possibility to have everything, is probably somewhere in the 1200s. I think, unless I'm mistaken, with. Ouch. Unless I'm mistaken, it's something else. I think you start having full plate armor, but it's not what's common. In 5th edition D&D terms, it's more of the half plate that's common. So a mix of plate, chainmail, cloth armor, so known as gambison. Yeah. So if we go there, at that time, a village would be something that had up to 12 houses, if I remember correctly. But can start as low as with 5 houses, 5 buildings. Because in the Middle Age, population was not counted in a person, it was counted in hearth. The village would have between 5 and 12 hearth, I think. So you got one for the inn, because that's usually where the mayor would live if a lord wasn't there. If a lord was directly responsible for the village, it would just be a gathering place. If a lord wasn't always there or never there, then there would be an equivalent of mayor, and the mayor would live in the inn. In villages, not in cities, in villages. So you got the village. Blacksmith was central. Middle Ages is the age of iron and steel, so the blacksmith is central. And there was always a place of prayer, which works pretty well with Dungeons and Dragons because of all the gods things. So, 3 buildings. That's the minimum buildings you can have. You'd need someone to grow food for at least one farm. Yep. Today it's map making. And a little bit of history lesson, apparently, because I'm going on about how villages were made. What was the composition of villages in the Middle Ages? Which is admittedly not useful for the scale of this map, because although it is probably the smallest scale that I've done so far, the top one is 1 mile. A bottomless pit. Well, that's more in a dungeon. I've done bottomless pit in dungeons. I don't have a software for making dungeon right now. Oh well, no. I have one. I just can't use it to make maps that I plan on selling at one point. Yeah. All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah, small scale. So that's 1 mile, and villages would not be more than a mile. Um, so that's not a lot of place to build anything. So what am I making? I am making a peninsula with a tiefling glassblower who rot out their cheeks blowing the glass but make the best glass. uh, I'm not there yet. I don't know if there's going to be dead forest. It could be interesting. I had some in previous map that I made. We'll see. It could be something. I mean, we do have a lot of interesting places with the mountains that I've placed. There's here, here, and here. Maybe here. And I haven't decided how those are going to be. So there could still be. I will keep it in mind for when we make the forest. Oops, that's the wrong one. When we do make, if we do make ones, I have the perfect tree for it. That's those three. Oops, it's a bit small. That's those three. Well, I have made these forests. I'm actually trying to decide the size of the map. Both because, we're going to have to decide on how we make the villages. And I very much would like to use these little things. It's going to be easier if I... This. It could be interesting. Well, a peninsula usually is. Usually I make islands because if you're playing a game or if you're writing a story, yeah, especially if it's for a game, no matter the type of game that you're playing, an island is easy to contain. If the players want to go outside of the bounds, it's going to take them time, and you'll have time to add something, to draw something else. This is why I don't do things that are a part of something larger all that much, but I wanted to do some because of the size. So I thought, why not a peninsula? So with the dotted lines, we see this is 1 mile. Oops. This is 1 mile. That's too big. And the last one is the distance you can travel in a day, according to Dungeons and Dragons, which I think is a bit much. But, yeah, I also know that I'm not a fast walker, so... So this peninsula is something you can travel in, well, if you can fly, 2 days. If you have to walk it, probably 3 to 4 days. Because roads don't go in straight lines. But I think it's good. I think it works. The size, I mean. Just gonna... take these. Can I move them all at once? No, it doesn't allow me to do this. Alright, we're just going to put them to the side so we have them as a reference. There we go. Alright, now you have them as a reference. And this is 1 mile. No, I want symbols. Village. Alright. 100%, that means that's the standard size that a person will watch this. So, what kind of size do we want for this? So that would definitely be smaller size. Once I know the size of settlements. Not sure. I think that's when the forests, when I'll start adding the forest, that's where we'll really get a good feel of where life is. Oh, definitely. Okay, so that's definitely a town. Yeah, so like I was saying, that's where I'll definitely get a good idea of where life is, and of course, life would be more abundant. Okay, definitely. That's gonna be too big. That's gonna be too big. What about these? We're still very early in the development of this map. I've only placed the mountains and the general shape. And mountains, I'm not even finished. Like I said, I haven't done the those two islands. So we're still very early in the making of this map. Okay, so that's too small. Yeah. No, yeah. So what I plan on doing with each map is creating the general map. Hold on, that's probably going to be easier if I show instead of just describing. So this one is the last. Hold on, this one is the last one we made. So this is the base one, the base map. And probably after that, I'm going to make different versions so you can have different elements depending on what you want. One will have the region on it. So if you want to have something more political, you can always do this, and you'll see exactly where the intended kingdoms are, the intended places of influence can be. It's probably going to be more important if you want to use a map that's that big, because there are definitely at least 10, if not a dozen, kingdom in this. So if you want to get this map and have a more political adventure, that can be interesting. I want to do a colored version of it also, and a version on it, a version where there are names on it as well. that's the element I'm not good at, naming things. Oh damn, this sputtering again. But ley line is definitely in a suggestion that can be interesting if you want to play a more magic intrigue thing. That's an interesting one. Well, I'll take note of it. And I'll see if I can't make a version for each map that I sell that will also just cover ley lines. Okay, I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing when you say ley lines. Well, it depends on the type of airship that you're using. If you're talking about the currents, the air currents, that is something. Okay, okay, oh, that's valid. So airships that are powered by latent magical energy. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, okay. That's definitely a way to make sure that you can't travel too far off. It's definitely something very interesting for a story. Uh, huh. Well, in that case, probably for you, ley lines would be something that would be specific to you, depending on where you want the adventure to happen. So you basically use ley line the same way that I use islands. So that if players want to go beyond what you've made, um, there's an actual resistance to it. Okay, okay, okay. Right, right, okay, okay. Which is valid. It's something that also works here. While I was doing the Compostela pilgrimage, I learned that a lot of the villages that I would stop to were actually the oh, pretty sure the French people that I met wouldn't like me using the word village. Not the right term, but we'll use that because we're splicing D&D in it. So sorry for anyone living in France. Um, so the places where I would stop would be the places where village had been made before, and those village usually had been built on top of abandoned village or villages that the Celt, would have made, and they would have made their village on what they perceived to be where the ley lines were, because there were places of power. Um, so that idea of ley lines traveling along, being where civilization built their village and eventually becoming towns and cities. That's kind of actually historically accurate. I don't know if you knew that, but that's kind of actually historically accurate. That's really how they perceived it, how they made this. Keeping that in mind, ley lines would most likely be where either commercial roads would be, the most direct route between two village. That would be the easiest way to get to those village. Village would be either made on strong points on the ley line or converging points in many ley lines. So it's easy to put the roads near where those ley lines are. And where I think that this can make things interesting, because it's something that I like to do, is to mix magic with the Middle Age. Because if you think about it, magic is the Middle Age punk. Just like we have. Yeah, I forgot the name. Steampunk. Um, Frostpunk. It's always the idea of at that time, what did the future look like according to them? Well, magic is what future looked like for people living in the Middle Ages. So D&D is technically medieval punk. So having roads built on top of ley lines can also give you the ability to mix this with the common world. If you want to make lampposts, the roads of your world would be built on top of ley lines, so they would be permanently fueled by the latent energy of the ley lines. Well, I guess you can tell that I'm the kind of person that will get excited with this. Just thinking about the possibilities of this, that's a great idea. I hope you won't mind if I one day use this as an idea in one of my games. Thanks. No, in my case, there are two games that I like a lot because they mix that element of magic and technology being fueled by magic. One is heavily um, technology oriented with a little bit of magic, and the other one is the opposite, heavily medieval oriented with a little bit of magic that gives technology. Those are the original Final Fantasy VII and the Xenoblade game on PlayStation 1, I think. Or 2, I'm not sure. Um, Xenoblade? Was it Xenoblade? Hold on. Oh, come on, sputtering, stop. Xenogear! Sorry, Xenogear. Alright, so, villages. Talking is fun, but we are making a map, so it's probably a good idea if at least make the map progress a little bit. Alright. So, I got something that could be interesting here. Do we have smaller? I mean, this can work. It's gonna be a bit small, but it can work. It just feels like these houses are a bit too thinly drawn. So I'd love to have one that seems to be made out of thatch. At least have a thatch roof. Do we have that? Yeah, we have it in color. But I don't think... Oh, that's nice, but more for village or city. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay, that's kind of interesting, but that's not what I'm looking for. It's too commercial. With a tent. Okay, that can be interesting. That can be interesting. Okay. That can be interesting. If I reduce the size of it just a little bit. Ah, come on. I just tried to fix you. Why won't you work properly? Alright. Well, that can definitely be an interesting mix. We may be a little too big. Oh, what's this? At least a little bit of definition. Alright, so maybe more something like this, yeah. Sorry, it's my cord. Yeah. Either there's a break somewhere and the shielding is sort of distorted, and because everything is so close on my table, there is a feedback, or my microphone is getting too old and there is a gap in the connector. Hold on, maybe it's just that. Let's try. Oh. How about that? That could be it. Okay, I feel like that might be actually it. Let me have this better sound. Good. Ooh, sorry. Okay, I think we have something interesting for villages. I think we have something interesting for villages. And the size is not bad. 200%. Well, yeah. That could be good. Especially if I take the map in high definition. You can definitely see it. Okay, that's definitely interesting. That's definitely interesting. Now let's see if we can increase the size just a bit. How about 70? And smaller home. Can definitely do something like this. That's a village. Let's take a note of this. That way we don't have to guess in the future. Houses. Let's take a category. Settlements. houses. Uh, 75. Was it 75 that I placed? 70. 70. Okay, 70. And it's either village house 6 and 7. Village house 7. All right. 70 and for bigger buildings we can have, that could be interesting. Oh, that's way too big. I don't like the aesthetic of it. It's too much like a back alley. Alright, so we got 70 and we got options for bigger buildings. It's always nice, but I just don't know where I'm going to use those bigger buildings. Okay, let's just start by Hamlet House. Oh. So that's how they see it. I guess I can understand that. No, it's not. That's village house. They just flipped it. Oh, that's slightly annoying. Why can't I flip it? Because it would be kind of nice if I had the individual buildings. That's annoying. Village house, village house. That's a big village. Alright, dude. Alright. So let's go at Hamlet House 3. And let's record it at 70. Right. And because of the size, and that's one thing that I found that was interesting, we can place fields. Can I just rotate? No. Oh, I don't know. I kind of like it, but not like this. It's gotta be placed differently. Oh, okay. Okay. Path. I'm just gonna put a reference here. Alright, so definitely we need a village at the exit here when you enter. Come on. And I think a village is a bit small, but it definitely works here. I think it is justified to have a town. If we have a town, then maybe something like this for the center. And oh, I'd really like to use this. Oh, but it's just a little too small. Oh well, I can place two on top of one another. It definitely brightens the whole thing. Right, right, that's always a possibility. So it's a little bit brighter. Alright, maybe it's better if I, oh yeah, that's right, now I have more. It's better, come on. If I just build something different. Alright, so. We have something here. And like this. Okay, first before we start playing with fields, let's build the village. That's the whole point of making a map this size. So you can actually see just a little bit more. You can actually build a village. All right, let's give ourselves a reserve of building. Yes, I know. It's starting to feel very familiar to when I'm building a forest. I know. So, for bigger buildings, but that's a bit weird. How about just something like this? Can we just... Oh, that's interesting, but it's not what I'm looking for. Like this. I don't know, I just want it to feel like an inn. Maybe it's just a little too much. What about this? That feels like... Well... That's interesting. A little too big. Just a little bit too big. Let's... So that's center of town. Ooh, that's a big center of town. But I think it kind of works. Then you can put fields nearby. The question is, do I want fields? Oh, that's an interesting one. So how do each field look? Okay. Ooh, that's interesting. Also interesting. So those are the fields that we have at our disposition. That's more French building, French phrase building. That's what we have available. All right, all right, all right. I get that. Okay, okay, okay. The houses are good. Towns. What is that called? That's Hamlet Block. Hamlet Block 5. And we are at 60. Towns. All right. We have fields. How about this one here? Okay, okay, this goes along interestingly with those. Those aren't. And no. That's the exact same thing. That's the exact same thing as that. Alright. I think we have something interesting here. Oh, wow. Sorry. Bubbles from the carbonated waters are coming back up. Sorry. I think that can be an interesting village. Town. The size of it is not too bad. The core of the village is of the town is 1 mile, and then there are fields. I think I can place the fields with vegetation later on. We'll adjust it for the size. As for this, I think it's interesting. It's good. Path. All right. Okay, okay. We have that settled. So now we know the scale and we know what it's going to look like. For a town, 1 mile, that's good. I mean, the town in which I live is, I know it can't be compared to medieval towns, but it's roughly, I want to say, 4 miles wide, which for today is small, but for the Middle Ages, whoa. Actually, we do have Middle-aged cities still in existence. Mount St. Mitchell is a functional medieval City. Okay. Pretty sure on Wikipedia we can have the size of it. Altitude 4 square miles. That doesn't help me a whole lot. That's the precipitation, that's climate. I need measurements. How wide is it? Alright, we can probably see it on Google Map. Let's go take a visit at Mount St. Mitchell. Coordinates. Can we head? Here we go. What is this? No, I want. Oh, sorry. Bubbles are coming up again. Yeah, I know. Google Map. There we go. All right. Oh, jeez. Is it really this small? Wow, I did not expect it to be this small. It's not even half a mile wide. Oh. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. What about Carcassonne? NE map. Yeah, no, that's the entire region. I just want to have the castle. Oh wow. Yeah, all right. Granted, it's. Huh. I did not see that coming. A third of a mile. Oh wow. Oh wow. And that's my phone warning me that it's almost dead. Is that a city block or? It is a city block. Oh wow. Right. I did not expect that at all. Even at this scale, we are too big. Why am I saying this? Oh. I'm gonna need a moment. Because that suddenly made things weird. So, one of the largest surviving medieval city in the world is that big on our map. That's a city. No, not even. It's not even that. It's that big. Oh wow. I did not expect that at all. Which means that. Jeez Louise. Ah, that's not. Oh. That's annoying. Oh. Well, I need the moment to survive this realization. Going to pee is always a good thing when you're trying to survive realization of this magnitude. Oh, I was looking forward to. No. The only way that I can actually do this is if I change the scale of it all to this. You know. Because, alright. This is. So, if we want to build, this is the size of the center of town. So, this is where all the buildings would need to be. And then there are the fields around. If I lower the size of this even further, then we can have buildings. Because now we could have this if I reduce the size of it that much. Alright. 60. That is center of town. No, I don't like it. That's interesting, Abby, but that's not what I'm looking for. It's too elaborate. Oh. That's annoying. That's really, 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 really annoying. I cannot overstate how annoying this feels to me. I feel like I've spent all of this time trying to build something and. Oh, nice. And I've wasted this entire time on buildings that are too big. Interesting. No, that's too Japanese. Or Chinese. I don't know enough. I don't know the difference enough. Interesting flags. Okay. Well, like I said, it's not too big of a deal. Eh. can work. How about we make it just a little bit smaller than that? No. Undo. No. Yeah, it's probably the one that's the best. But let's put two of them, one over the other. Alright, that works a little bit better. Okay, then we don't have a lot of choice. We got to rethink our size even further. Okay. Symbols. Yeah, sorry. Not talking a lot. I was hoping that maybe there would be a different castle. Because honestly, this one feels nice. Feels like it could be there, but I don't want it to have colors. I want it to blend in. And I can easily have it like this. Yeah. That kind of works. That would work. But I would need to desaturate the color on this so I can actually use it. Yeah, that can be interesting. Alright, now I got two things that I need to desaturate. Well, this one is going to be much easier to do. Oh, that's stupid. Why didn't I think of that when making my assets? Instead of desaturating them before and then spending a stupid amount of time sculpting them, I can just leave the color, remove the background, and then desaturate it. That should work. Oh man. Well, don't I feel stupid? Alright, so we don't have a choice. This is going to be the size of this. This is a town. This is a town. Hold on. Path. Alright, so this is a town. Village. With one building. No. One on each side. Yeah, okay, I think we have it. This is going to be a town. We're going to put two on top of one another so they can actually stick out a little bit more. Does it work if I put a third one? It sort of does. Okay, so let's go with 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, the fourth one doesn't do anything. That was annoying. But then again, alright. I think we finally have what we wanted. Well, what I wanted. 1, 2, 3. All right. How about that? No, let's do this properly. Forgot there are several on top of one another. Okay, I think we have it now. Or maybe the other way around. Yeah, maybe the other way around. Can we merge all of those together? I mean, we lose a little bit of definition. But it's, no, come on. It's not that bad. Actually, that's interesting. Okay, I think we have something interesting here if we play with this. Okay. Okay. So, how about like this? Like this and like this? No, I think that's like this maybe. No, on the other side, Alright, this can be much closer. Like this. Like this. On the other side. This. Like this. Oh, no. Okay, no. Go on. Alright. How about that? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about? Not this one. Okay. So this is a village. I want to bring the other one back. Maybe this one instead. Okay, well, I can always do this artificially. Okay. That's nice. That's nice, isn't it? Alright. And for the cities, we have this. How's that? I think we have it. Alright, I think we have everything. Alright. That is hard. Hamlet block. 70. That's for a town. Then we have Hamlet house number 3. let's go with village. Sorry, town. And then cities. That was my stomach. Okay. And this one here is 6, 7. Oh goodness, that's everything we had. And cities. Oh. Is there something we can build with this? Oh, this might actually be interesting. What are our building blocks? We got this, we got this. Okay, okay. I see it, I see it. Like this. Intriguing, intriguing. What are our assets for making this possible? We have this. We have this. Let's build a few ones. And we have this. So, what might be interesting? Well, I do have to admit that this is interesting. Is there something else we can do with this? I'm so sorry, I just realized that we spent the entire episode just building our map, building our village and towns. I know it's not a bad thing to do this, but at the same time, it's more fun if we actually move forward. Another episode that's gonna require a lot of editing. Oh, I was hoping to avoid that. Hold on. Alright. So what we have to build. It's okay. I kind of like that idea. I sort of want to flip it. I really want to flip it. Alright. I'll have to arrange that. Alright, alright. For now, I think we're gonna go with this. Okay. Now the big question. If actually all of this is travelable in a day, how do we want this? That's an interesting question. Because now suddenly, this is 1 mile. Which means there could be a bridge. What is the longest bridge in the world? Hmm. 160 kilometers. Yeah, okay. That's not what I want. Longest stone bridge. Nearly a mile. Interesting. Because that gives us options. Okay. So this could be viable. There's a bridge there. Do we have a symbol for bridge? That could be interesting. I'd rather it be Stonebridge. Oh, there are other bridges here. Ah, they're always slanted. I'd like to have a bridge that connects horizontally. Can I play with perspective? Ooh. Oh man. That would kind of work, but again. Oh, that's an interesting one. Oh, we got it. Oh, do we have it with no colors? We have it. Oh, that actually is nice. Can I put this in here somewhere? Oh, that would be interesting. That would be so interesting. Come on, come on. Can I have this here? Oh, it just doesn't mesh right. Oh, that's so disappointing. Alright. We don't have any bridge. Oh, anyways, bridge, we can work on that after. We do have interesting bridge. Okay. Okay. Can I just, there you go. Here it is. We'll work on that later. So, if in actuality, to have what we want, we need... Oh, that's dumb. That was stupid. Anyways, we haven't done anything, so. Here, alright. Symbol. So you got a town here. That's so it'll take 2 days to get from there to there. Okay. Actually, I'm curious. I'm curious. What's the name of that setting? Okay. Okay. The only D&D setting we currently have, which kind of mimics a bit what I'm trying to do, is the Curse of Strahd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I want the actual width of it. So that would be... Okay, that's because the roads are that twisty and bendy. Okay. So, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 7, 8, 9, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. It's 80. So technically speaking, that setting can be traveled. You can walk on air. in one day. Okay. I think we can afford the scale that we want. I think we can afford it. All right. We got a scale. We got our scale. Now, because let's be honest, Curse of Strahd is a nice setting. You can have multiple, you can have a long adventure in there. You can nearly make it halfway through all of your level, from 1 to 10. So, our map would be slightly bigger than that. So I think we can manage the whole thing. How do we want to put the forest here? Okay, how about? And I didn't ride the mountains. Nice. No, I didn't want to close it. No, that's not what I want to do. Come on. I didn't write down the mountains. Alright. Well, the good news is that we're done with that. Okay, so it's 100. Save. Alright. What about this here? Alright. Alright. Mountains. Mountains. I feel like we should have one here. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired. That's why I'm talking less and less. Okay. Yep, that's too much. Okay. Not big mountains here. Not big mountains. How about small mountains? Like this. No, not this one. This one. This one. And this one. Okay. And I see something here, to be quite honest. I see something here. Not a big one either. Okay. I see something. I see a small, narrow strip of mountains. this one here. Then it goes up. It goes up like this. And like this. And like this. No, 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 no. Like this. It gives room to nestle something here. And just a wee bit thing here. No, I don't want to have two identical mountains next to one another. Alright, come on, let's get out more. Okay. Oh yeah, I feel like it's a full, but it ends in a point. Okay, that kind of works. Okay. Oh, good Lord, that's why. Wow. Whew. Microphone almost went off the desk. Yeah. All right. Mountain here. Mountain here. Okay. How do I do this? I sort of want to build off of that. Yeah, okay, I see it. No, not that one. Too big. Like that. let's start off by, because I want to block the end, but not all of it. There's a little passage that you can use to get here. Yeah, all right. It's gonna go like this. Okay. Okay. I can see it. And we're gonna have to completely block off the other end. Okay, like this, like this, like this, like this, this, like this. Oh. Like this. Okay. We sort of are following the coastline. Probably gonna increase the thickness of it in more than one area, but I think it's good. Okay. How about we save? We had enough trouble on this map so far that it warrants more saving. Okay. So, let's remove the excess land. It's clear that this just goes into the ocean. Okay. But we do have a little alcove here that I want to increase just a little bit. I feel like the roughness is off. All right. So this is how you can enter here. Sort of a little back door to this place. All right, let's thicken up the mountain just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, like this. No, we need a bigger one. This. this. No, don't want two of them right next to the same one right next to one another. I want again. Okay. Okay. That can be interesting if we separate it into. No, don't want the same one right next to one another. Like this, and with one like this, and like no. Okay. No. Just want something like this. No, not too much. Here, that works. That works. And maybe just a little bit here. No, not to the same one right next to one another. Yeah, just a little bit thicker here. Okay. Going up? Going up, why not? Going up. Okay, that's actually a nice island. Save. Alright, we got our mountains everywhere. We got the size of our town. I feel like since the size of this has been changed a little bit, I should probably deepen that. Like this. How about yeah, just small debris here. And here. Okay. Like that. Kind of works. I want to increase that here. Like this, maybe. Okay. Maybe just like this here. Little cove. Like this. Okay. No, the other way around. Here. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted. We're almost out of time for tonight. We are almost out of time for tonight. Alright, though we did not progress a lot. I feel, where's my cursor? I feel like that was just because we didn't take the time to address some important issues of our map. Issues that we figured out later. Okay. How about that? Yeah. All right. So I think with that, we have our town settled. We have our actual scale settled. We got our mountains settled, and we redefined just a little bit of this. Oh yeah, and I want to mark down things that I need to do. So finish desaturating castles and right cliffs. After sculpting it, that should help. All right. That way we don't have to do this all over again, and that's a nice one. All right. I think that should be it for tonight. So, with all of this that happened tonight, I feel like it was slow but good episode. Slow but good episode. And I want to thank Bobicus in the chat. That was a really nice idea, Leyline. I might actually really use it in one of my campaign. There's one of my campaign that I want to make that is oriented toward airship travel. So I might actually use that. And thank you for giving me the permission to use it. Yeah, that was nice. But this is where we ended tonight. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a pleasant whatever it is you were looking for. And a good part of the day, whichever it may be for you. Part of the 24-hour circle. I mean, because even the day could be night. And if you'd like to support the stream, I promise we usually progress more. If you want to support the stream, don't be shy. We have Twitch, YouTube, X, so you can follow, leave comments. If you want to do more, you can make a donation, become a Patreon, subscribe on Twitch. And if you still want to support, but you can't do any of those, or, you know, if you're already doing all of those and want to do even more, well, there's one other thing you can do that's free and mostly effortless, and that helps tremendously. That is spreading the word of the channel. So yeah. See you next week for the continuation of this map. If you want to watch the live D&D campaign, that's on Wednesdays, and it's 7:30 Western Coast time. If you live on the Eastern Coast, fear not, we have a rebroadcast on Friday, 7:30 also, but Eastern Coast time. Yep, that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.